What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. LexxExpress checking in with another WWE 2K25 Island versus NBA 2K25 The City. Here we're going to do a comparison and look at it side by side to compare some of the similarities and differences that we could spot in real time with the information they gave us this past week with that trailer reveal. We saw this trailer premiere during the PlayStation State of Play and it blew the internet out of the water. Lots of people were happy and even more were pissed off with the possibility of this being a pay-to-win experience that no one asked for. But that's not the topic we're covering here. We're going to do a side-by-side like I mentioned, and we did this already, something similar in our last one, but let's take a closer look at these hoodies. So I'm going to go ahead and put Jordan oversized hoodies. And it's not the same one that we saw over here, right? They spotted some sweaters for 36,000 VC. We have a hat for 12,000. So what can we expect? Hoodies for about 18,000 VC, 17,500 for some other ones. It really comes down to the design, right? Look at these sweaters. These are similar to the ones that we saw over here at 36,000. Now the design is completely different, but it's the same kind of varsity style sports jacket. And if you back out and go to the shoes, you could see a variety of different prices as well. We don't know what the shoes look like in WWE 2K25 just yet, but they are going to have Jordans and they are going to have Nikes as well, along with some other brands that will be available day one. So when you walk into the main avenue, right, for the city in NBA, you're looking at this long road that has a variety of different shops for you to attend. You could go play the rec with your friends. That's 5v5 basketball. Stores and brands that you want to check out. Like we have a different store over here called Swags. Over here at the city, that's what's pretty much comparable to Truth Wear in the island. So let's go to Swags and see what Swags has in store. We see season 4 gear, and then we got some more jackets, some more shorts. So let's look at this military jacket. This is where you're gonna see some of the more economic stuff, all right? This is some of the cheaper items, which you can probably compare this to the items that you get for free in the community creation suite, or just, you know, the creation suite for yourself in general. This is not going to be locked away in WWE 2K25 because it's not a name brand that's new to the game. They're going to want you to grind the new collection of items that they've added, but I don't see them asking you to grind for a plain white tee or a plain sweater. So again, Nike and Jordan are side by side here, just like the Nike and Jordan that we saw. You see how they have different arenas and rings for you to compete in for different objectives? That is pretty much what WWE is doing to rival the NBA version of that, which is, again, the rec center. And we also have Pro-Am, which is another area where you compete in some ranked matches. You could do some side quest over here. And then one thing that I did want to bring up, you could go into social media and see here what's going on with, you know, just randoms, which I don't know if they're actually going to have this same exact tab, but there's league news and all this, which ties down to the story of my career. But if you want to invite your friend, right, if you want to go ahead and see who's online, you're going to be able to toggle through that through here as well, okay? You're going to be able to pull it up with the LBRB button and see who's online and who's near you for you to get them in your session. I can expect WWE doing something very, very similar, if not identical. So right down there where you see the New York Knicks logo straight ahead, that's the arena where you compete in with your single player experience, all right? That has nothing to do with the city itself. You go into the arena, you go backstage, and you have your games, and that's about it. Then you got some side stuff going on, like, you know, meeting your coaches or doing some interviews. But all in all, that's where you continue to progress your story within your basketball season by yourself. There's also another section here where you get to ante up, which is basically betting VC to earn more VC. But remember, we saw this area right here, which is comparable to the Rhea Ripley tattoo shop. Remember, look at it right there, the Rhea Ripley. Well, they have that in NBA, and it's just called Mother Tattoos. And here's where you go and just get tatted up if you want to swag out your character and put some ink, you could click here, look at some sleeves. You know, you could change the color for it, and you could just add the tattoo, and then you're going to place it. But you see the prices. I mean, 9,000 for a whole sleeve. That's not going to be too crazy if you play the mode, right? I think a lot of people have this misconception of buying, you know, your way to 100 overall. If you're going to be spending a lot of time in WWE's The Island, you're going to be getting a lot of VC easily. I think that's just going to come natural with the quests that you're going to have available to you, which there are quests that are part of the season. There's side quests, there's main quests to do your story. I do see WWE doing something pretty much the same to keep track of all the chaos that's going on that you might want to complete for your character. So this is like the main quest that I've completed. Not a whole lot. I've told you guys in previous streams and videos, I am definitely a casual when it comes to the NBA side of things, because I mainly play my team, which is the fantasy team building element, and I don't spend any money. That's like the big thing we have all talked about and discussed on stream. I don't spend any money when it comes to NBA 2K. That's why my overall is so low at an 84, considering the game has been out since September. So I'm comfortable with my overall, especially when you're doing, you know, matches that are 5v5. You can get away with it, especially as a center. In WWE, that may be a different story. I don't know how that's going to play out with the fact that, you know, you're going to have to perform 1v1. I don't see any 2v2 here in this trailer. So that's a little alarming and concerning. And something that I brought up in that WWE video for the island is that the matchmaking is going to be based on, yes, people entering that general area looking for a match to compete in, but I wonder the actual root of the matchmaking. How is that going to work? And because I don't want them to do something where, you know, it jeopardizes the grind in WWE. You got to have variety. You don't want to go up against only the people that are 99 overall or 80 plus overall, and you're rocking with a 75 overall. Like, yeah, every so often you're probably going to match up against one of those people. But to be honest, if you're going to be constantly matching up against those people, it can make the game unbearable, which is something that you don't really have to deal with when it comes to the city, because in this basketball game, you could play team up basketball in a 5v5 scenario. You don't have to go to the park, which is a district in this NBA world, and you don't have to do the 3v3, which is more grueling for the players that have lower overalls like myself. But I do see the reason why people are complaining. I do get it. Actually give us a mode where you have to grind and earn your keep, and you have to play, you know, with the computer and real life players. Then I could see the island being fun. I just don't want it to be and feel like it's all a must to spend. I want the grind to be enjoyable. So I hope they don't go the route where there is balancing issues, because that's pretty much where all the weight is for this year's island. Now, this is just the very first time they put this together, right? NBA has been doing it for years, and they've kind of perfected it. And while I do see people that have played NBA say, well, I've played NBA, y'all don't know what you're getting yourselves into. This is going to be a cash grab. This is going to be terrible. It's going to be horrible. We haven't seen this play out in a wrestling setting just yet. We don't know what it's going to be like when you log in and you go through your objectives and you read whatever the story is going to be. You just don't know what it's going to be like. So for me, I'm optimistic that they've learned their lesson in the NBA world, and they're going to apply all those good, you know, feedbacks that they've had through the years versus the bad feedback that has made NBA unbearable at times for people that don't want to spend the money. So I hope they go ahead and give us something a little deeper than just, oh yeah, log in, you know, and get the Jordan brand stuff, because that's not enough for me personally. For me, I want to see variety in matchmaking. I want to see variety in quest and storytelling. I want to see a good spread out mode where you can enjoy the grind. So again, hit me up in the comment section. How do you feel about what NBA has done with the city versus what WWE is trying to do with the island. Another thing I wanted to touch base on is when you go to the menu and you go to progress, you're going to see the attributes, the badges, and your skills. I did mention this in the last video, but I want to bring it up once more because people might have not noticed. If you look at the 84 overall, that's, yes, my character's overall, but there's a 92 max. In order to get to 99 and go up, you want to play the game as much as possible. I could put in all the money in the world and it's still not going to get me to 100 overall because I need to put in the time. They cap you out at 85 with NBA. I wonder how they're going to do it with WWE. Are they going to cap you out at 80, at 90, 87? Who knows? We just don't know. And I'm just going off on what we've seen with NBA. But what I do know is that you can't buy XP, right? You have to play the game to earn your keep. At the end of the day, money's only going to get you so far. So what do you want to see in the island? I just don't want these $36,000 VC prices to be the ultimate price point at the end of the day. I hope they do lower it. And if they don't lower it, I just want them to make this experience something that we enjoy the grind for, a balance, something that we can all see ourselves playing endlessly. That's what the island should be. That's what the island should look like, right? A place where we get the free DLC storylines that they promised, along with some cool features that we can interact with your friends and just hopefully have some good competition. That's it. That's all.
LexxExpress is calling, shaping every view. Subscribe and join the legend, let's see what you'll do.
Every comment's welcome, every like's a cheer. Your opinions light the way, there's nothing you should fear.
Share your thoughts and insights, let your voices grow. With Lexx by your side, the universe will glow. Hit that button, oh so bright, in this digital night. LexxExpress is here to guide us with an epic light. Comment, share, and let it out in the world so vast. Be a part of something stronger.